What's going on, guys? Big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta and we are back. This time we are with the video to show you the new Spike Roller deck. So the deck from the Raging Tactics going against Grand Blue. So I'm doing multiple videos for you guys, and every time I'm picking another deck, and I let you guys choose which deck to play against on Facebook. So as you can see from my starting hand, I had only Wonder Boy to ride, and then I drew into offensive Pinter. I would have offensive Pinter as a right target, which is better. But yeah, it is what it is. So right now he is kind of trying to rush me. Again, this is just a computer playing, but I do understand the choice in this because I don't get a trigger. He could do me 2 or 3 damage pretty easy. After that, when he ride into Cocytus, he could crit me and then have a huge attacks. Alright, so on my first damage check, I got nothing. On his drive check, he got nothing. I think we're kind of even. And then I got the draw trigger, which is perfect. I drew into a draw. The draw PGs are important in this matchup because you want to guard the Vanguard attack because it has a crit. And then, of course, he has a huge attack by Skeleton. So at this moment, I ride into Spike Bouncer. As you see, I still play Spike Bouncer. I will show you the deck list at the end of the video. And then I got into Ronaldo. It's better to do the other way around, to get Ronaldo and then Ronaldo get you to Spike Bouncer, but then you will use your 2 Counter Blasts. But I didn't have Ronaldo in hand, I had Spike Bouncer, so that's good. Of course, I have a Pinter in my hand, so why not call him? Because you make the 18 column, and then this is 10 on 8. He let that through. Normally I would guard that attack, at least with a 15k. So 15k with me, no pass, that's good enough. But again, he let it through. Fine by me. Alright, so Bracky will attack into the Vanguard, another 15k shield. He let that through, and the last attack will be by Ronaldo. Ronaldo attacking for 18k, there's no reason to use Splinter right here. Wait till next turn, then the numbers will make it different. And he cannot retire with Grand Blue that early in the game, so there is no reason to do that. Alright, looking at his soul, he has only his starter. From this moment on, he activated the skill of his drunk guy, of his Mario, and then attacked me for 17, no guard, because I mean he cannot hit me with all the others. If he gets a crit right here, then I'll be on 4 damage, which is a lot, but it's okay because I still have opportunity to get a heal trigger or something. By having 2 heal in my hand, I still get the opportunity to get heals. Got a critical trigger right here, which is sad. I didn't want to waste that, but again, it's not up to me. Could have guarded it, but I didn't want to. I had 2 options to go to, Bad and Dragger, and you have, of course, your main VR being Bull Spike. Went into the Bad and Dragger, of course, to create more markers. You could do the other way around. If you had Siegfried in hand, you could go into Bull Spike first, have Force 2, and then go into Siegfried after that. But because I had Bull Spike and Bad and Dragger in my hand, I chose to do it this way. Also, I wanted to intercept with the Ronaldo anyway next turn, and this makes great numbers. So with this, I could attack for 18-20 using the skill of Offensive Pinter, because now it makes a difference. And with this, that would be 15k shield for him, which he no guarded, so interesting. I got no trigger. That's when I put him on 4 damage. So when I attack now with my Bad and Dragger, I could give him a crit. And if I get a drive check, a critical trigger could give it all to Bracky. And Bracky and Bad and Dragger will have to be guarded that way. So I gambled on getting a crit right here, which that was my strategy. Him only having 3 cards in hand, that would be a lot to waste. So nothing, and second drive check is also nothing. If this was the critical trigger, that would have been perfect, but it's not. So yeah, this is what it is. So this is only 28, should have been 38 in a crit. He guarded that, and now it's his turn. Alright, so he stands and draws, and then he rides into Cocytus. I think this is the card he drew. No, it's not. It's the card he had in hand. So if I had a crit, then that would have been game over for him because he would not have been able to guard that. So Kokaida's skill on Mill, and then of course get the opportunity to make a huge number yet again. As you can see, 70 or 37 right there. But the attacks with the Vanguard first, which is only 20, and 20 using my heal trigger, that's already 2 to pass, which is perfect. Because I don't want to deal with a crit right here, and also have to deal with another attack, which is even bigger. So he drive checked nothing. He has 4 cards in hand and not that much defense. So he attacked me with, again, the 37. I could just let that through. Doesn't have a crit, so I'm okay with that. Alright, no guard that. And then it's my turn again. As you can see, I still play Wonder Boy. I've tried Wonder Boy and tried Commander Gary Cannon. The deck list that I play is kind of strange, but it works really good. Didn't expect it to work this way, but it does. Right here, he is on 4 damage. I declared final turn, meaning I could finish him off with Bad and Dragger having an extra crit, and if I drive check a crit, that would even be better. I have the force markers right here, give it all to Bolt Spike, and then the Bad and Dragger will come out of the soul, retiring his left column. Of course, Bad End Dragger is a great card. I've tested Bad End and I've tested Juggernaut Maximum, and I find out that Bad End in the most situations is better by him having the extra crit, even costing the Count Blast, and he get the 5k less than the normal Juggernaut, because the Juggernaut will get 10k and the Bad End Dragger gets the extra 5k, which is not a big difference, but he does makes a big difference by the retirement power that he gives, a good right target, and the pressure that he gives with the crit, because he combines Force 1 very good with Wall Spike and the Bad End Dragger. Juggernaut Maximum, on the other hand, combined really good with the Force 2. Okay, so my Bull Spike attacks right here for 38. He uses his Protect marker, which is his only defense. After that, he has no defense. I got a draw trigger. I wanted a crit, but I got a draw trigger, and I gave everything to my Bad End Dragger. On here, I made a small mistake on the retirement. I should have retired the one after his Vanguard, but I went to retire the 7k. But it's cool, it's okay. Again, as I said, misclicked right there. So went back and read the card. But again, now I have to attack with the one with the crits. So this is a huge attack. Using the 2 force markers that I already have, he cannot get out of this except by him getting a heal trigger. Alright, so using Bad End Dragger, putting my crit back to the deck, because that's why I put it there, and then Bad End Dragger will be 61, which is a huge number. He got a heal trigger, so that's perfect for him, so he's back on 4 damage, and you could take 1 more, and the second damage was also a fucking heal. So there goes my final turn. Yeah. Okay, so this is 28. I used the skill of my Bull Spike because I want to have him on 5 damage. I don't want him to go back to 4 and then to 3 and stuff. But he guarded this attack. He was able to put everything in his hand to guard that. I was thinking about using her skill, Jackie, to get me the extra draw, but I didn't want to because I had 1 more Bracky left in my deck, and I kind of need Bracky to fold the soul as well. So I left it like this, and I could go and fill the soul next turn with Bracky. With Jackie you also fill the soul, but I didn't want to. Attack me right here for 13. Activating this skill will be 17. 17 is okay guard for me, it's just a 5k, and I wanted to do that. So put a 5k right here as a guard, and then guard his Vanguard. And if he gets a crit, then I have to guard the skeleton because I have to release. If he does not get a crit, then I could easily let that last attack go through. So I guarded this attack with a PG because I didn't want any nonsense. But I could have also put like 2 heal triggers right there to guard the attack. But again, PG to be safe. Maybe putting the 2 heal triggers is a better choice. Right here, he gets another fucking heal. So he got a crit and a heal which gives him a huge attack and also put him back to 3 damage. But again, he does not have that much defense in hand. I mean, he has the 20k and the 15k, but still that's not that much, because my attacks with riding into the 3rd time, so 3 force markers to move around, I could easily destroy all of his defenses. Alright, my turn. If I could declare one more time final turn, I would, but again, you can't. So it doesn't matter when I give my force markers, because they will move anyway, so I gave it to the same circle. Right here, activate, of course, the Wonder Boy first, because I have one Wonder Boy left. And I was looking through my deck to see what I have left, because I knew I had a Bracky, but I knew I had 2 Brackies. So that's when I will use my Wonder Boy to put a trigger. And this way, I wanted to put a crit or a draw. And the card I want to put is a draw, because I really want to get my PG back to be able to guard his last attack. And that's good. And then I use the skill of Bracky to reshuffle the deck and to call one of my Brackies that I have left. So this column is like crazy big. This is 58 without even getting any triggers, but it would not be the first column I attack with. I want to attack first with my Vanguard, then attack with the one that has the crit, and then attack last with Bracky. That was my strategy. So first I was thinking attacking with Bracky first or not. I attack just with the Vanguard. I have 4 soul, more than enough to move the markers around. I would also be left with 1 soul, which is good. I could refill the soul with Jackie's skill and with Wonder Boy if needed. Even if I keep my Bracky, I could still use him next turn. Okay, my drive check was a Ronaldo and a critical trigger. Critical is the thing that I wanted from the first when I went to grade 3 on my last turn. But again, the crit right here is perfect, because I could give it to the Vanguard, and then I will have the power giving to my Bad Dragger. With that, even if he miracle heals, he cannot get out of it, because he already have used 3 heals. So he's on 5 damage. I could attack with the Bracky first right here. Why did I do that? I wanted him to use all of his guard right here. I could have attacked with the Bad Dragger first, but then I will use my Jackie or my Bracky. So he used all of his guard right here because he didn't want to lose, but that's actually very stupid, but because it's a computer. You normally would take this and then guard the Bad Dragger, of course. Alright, so now I attack with the Bad Dragger. I could use Jackie's skill to draw me 1 more card, but there I don't want to, because I want Bad Dragger to hit for high number and extra crit. In here, you do not really need to use full spike skill anymore, because the 36 still hit his Vanguard. I don't know how much defense he has from his drop zone, the grade 1, so I just used it anyway, and it was the final turn anyway, because you cannot stop this attack. It has 2 crits, and he has no way of healing twice. So yeah, this was pretty much game over anyway. So 71, again, huge number. If I had offensive punter right here, then it would have been also a perfect number, which is 68, but the 70 is good. So that was it. Destroyed. Alright, so now we are talking about the deck. So the deck that I use uses 4 copies of Ball Spike, as it's your main grade 3. Then it's up to you to run 3 Siegfried, 2 Bad Dragger, or 3 Bad Dragger, 2 Siegfried. I kind of like Bad Dragger more, because this deck focuses on Ball Spike and using Force 1. If you want to focus on Force 2, then you would rather use 3 Siegfried. What you do then is you ride first into Ball Spike, create Force 2, move Force 2 around for the whole turn, and then after that go back and use Siegfried. But if you do that, then you would rather play Juggernaut and not Bad Dragger. And that's the thing that I have come up with. With going to Force 1, you still have huge attacks going, and the first ride that you do will be General Siegfried. Riding a General Siegfried or Bad Dragger is still good. Then you go into Bull Spike, and after that you pretty much destroy your opponent. For the grade 2 lineup, of course, you play Bracky, as he's a powerhouse. Then in this time you could activate the skill of Bracky to fill up the soul, and also at the same time to give you huge attacks. Even going with Force 1, you still get extra power. The Ronaldo at 2 and the Bouncer at 3. Why? Because what you want to do is, you want to get into the Spike Bouncer first, as in my opinion, Spike Bouncer still is a better right target. Even if he empty up the soul, he doesn't cast card from hand in the early game. When you play against clans like Narukami, like Kagero, like clans that could destroy your field, and you end up with having nothing in hand that you could call and replace the units you lost, that's where Ronaldo comes in handy. Ronaldo, calling into Ronaldo if you're on grade 3, filling up the soul with one card from your hand for the counterblast if you're chilling on a Bull Spike, that's perfect, and now you could call a whole new field. And that's why, in my opinion, Ronaldo is a very good card, but it's less good as a right target. But again, when you ride into it, even if you go trigger, you can put them back with Bat and Dragon and still give him the extra crit and power. So it really depends on the grade 3 you have in hand on your first right target. If you go into Ronaldo, you have offensive pinter come out of the soul, you use Ronaldo's skill to call stuff from your deck, then you ride into Bat and Dragon will put the cards back that you don't want on your field. It still works perfect. So that's why the synergy between 3 Spike Bouncers and the 2 Ronaldo, in my opinion, works perfect for me. But again, you could change it around. Play 5. 5 is more than enough, but you could change it around to having 3 Ronaldos, 2 Bouncer, 4 Ronaldo, 1 Bouncer. I don't think that you need more 7 or 6 of them. 5 of them is good. And then I play Needle. I play Needle at 3, the same as when I played Panther at 3. Needle, he does not need to be played at 4 because you could use Siegfried's skill to get Needle out of your deck. Yes, it works, but Needle does not call himself like Bracky does, and that's why 3 is more than enough. For the Wonder Boy, I've tried Commander Gary Cannon, I've tried Wonder Boy. I think Wonder Boy, in my opinion, is better because he works perfect with cards like Bracky, he works perfect with cards like Siegfried, and he goes into your soul without you having to hit like with Commander Gary Cannon. And that's why he works very, very, very good with cards like Bull Spike. Commander Gary Cannon, on the other hand, is also good, but he becomes less good in the later game. He's good in the early game, he's less good in the late game. With Wonder Boy, it's the other way around. With Wonder Boy, he's kind of meh in the early game, strange, especially if you do not have anything in the drop zone. You don't want to put Wonder Boy out there, but you kind of have to fill up the soul, so he becomes less good. But in my opinion, it's still good to fill the soul without having to hit. Commander Gary Cannon and Wonder Boy is an option that you guys could choose whatever you like. Okay, then I play 2 copies of Devil. Devil is very good if you go second, of course. Especially if you have offensive pinter in hand. You put Devil out there, you ride into him, and then you put offensive pinter behind him, you attack for 18k. The 18k, when he hits, which he usually will do, attacking into an 8k, he will draw you a card because of his ability, and he will also, offensive printer will also draw you a card because of his ability. With that, you draw into 2 cards, you already have your drive check, that's 3, and that does changes your hand. So I like him at 2. I didn't find the reason to put him up. Sometimes you draw into him, even if you have him at 4, sometimes you don't draw into him if you kind of really need him. But now with putting him at 2, you got just like Mulligan, and you normally ride into him or offensive printer. Then I play Jackie at 2. Jackie is a very good card. Put cards from the field to your soul to draw your cards, and at the same time have more for the Soul Blast ability for your Bull Spike. But also against matchup like Narukami. When you play against Narukami, they already retire your front row. Why not to use Jackie to just put it into the soul and draw a card? I mean, it does make it better, and then would leave you with only 1 card in your front row, would mean that they will have to counterblast 1, discard 1 to retire only 1, and that does not give them benefit. And that's why this deck is good against the current meta. Or actually, you could change the deck around to make it good against any meta you want to. For the trigger lineup, you're playing 4 heal, 4 draw, and then the 8 crits. I did try to take out the heals, it didn't work. You are left with um, a lot of crits, but you don't really need them. So the heals are good in my opinion, good shield value, and good counter charge engine because you don't have any counter charge engine. And sometimes you want to take a lot of damage in the early game, and the heals will help you with making a comeback. The heals in standard are a necessary thing. When I took them out to test, I did find myself guarding more because I don't have the heals in my deck as shield value and then as just heal and counter charge mechanism. And that's actually it for the deck, and also it for the video. Tell me which deck you're having or which clan you're having problems to play against, and I will try to play a match against that. And also, if you don't follow us on Facebook, try to do that, because on Facebook we kind of let you guys choose what you want to see next. Alright guys, thanks for watching it again. Till next time.